Before we get started on today's video, I want to give a quick shout out to my sponsors, Function and Beauty, whom I love because hair care is never one size fits all, which is why Function and Beauty creates a 100% customizable shampoo and conditioner for your unique hair. It's really easy. All you have to do with Function and Beauty is fill out a 2-minute quiz outlining your hair type, hair goals, and personalized preferences. You can even choose your color and your fragrance, and of course I had to get mine in pink and blue because I like to tell the difference between my shampoo and conditioner. So you can even get your name printed on your bottle, so if you live with roommates or anything like that, nobody has an excuse of using your stuff. And now that you know we're advised not to go out so much, Function of Beauty is delivered to you directly to your home, and it smells amazing. I've pretty much tried every single scent because I've been sponsored by Function of Beauty multiple times and they all smell fantastic. They also have no parabens, sulfates, GMOs, toxins, and it's 100% vegan and cruelty free. And in my book, we should always be supporting companies that are like this, especially as a vegetarian and vegan. And even if you're not a vegetarian or vegan, it's really nice to know you're using a product that is cruelty free. So one thing I really love about Function of Beauty is that as someone who bleaches and dyes their hair so much, my hair is very dry and lacks moisture. It gets tangled easily, and it just makes me feel like my hair is out of control most of the time, and it's just so hard to style. But since using Function of Beauty, it has made my hair visibly softer, smoother, shinier, and healthier, and it makes me feel better about myself. They also have other side products you can add on. So I got the leave-in conditioner treatment that I put in my hair, and you can physically see the difference from this video from past videos. It's actually so much smoother to the touch. It looks healthy, and I have repaired my bleach damaged hair. Thank you to Function of Beauty. Not only that, one of the add-ons is this cute travel size set, because you know as soon as this is over you're going to want to travel, and they provide these cute bottles so you don't have to keep buying bottles that will just end up going in the trash that are travel size, because you could just get it as an add-on. All of these add-ons are so aesthetically pleasing. They are an amazing company. I highly recommend them. Click the link below if you want to get 20% off of your first order. Once again, there is a link below, and if you click it, you can get 20% off your first order and start having fabulous hair. They are currently available in the US, Canada, Great Britain, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, and more. Thank you guys so much for sitting through that. Let's get back to the video. Hi, what's up everyone? It's Stargirl.thepracticalwitch, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm here during this beautiful sunny midweek where the clouds look like they're actually out of a painting. And today I decided, because it's such a beautiful day, I wanted to channel what your natural spiritual gifts and abilities were. So this could range from psychic abilities or natural talents that you were born with. And also we're gonna pick up other things about your destiny and how you can use these gifts in regards to your path and incarnation here on Earth. So this is a little more spiritual and woo-woo than I normally do, because I like to keep my pick of cards and astrology very grounded. But I just felt like the whole collective is kind of going through this amazing spiritual awakening, and I felt like we were ready, so I'm going to do it. So I need you to pick one of the 5 piles. This is group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then once you pick a group, you can fast forward to the timestamps I provide down below to see what your natural spiritual abilities are, what your gifts are, and how you're going to utilize them in this life. And this is going to be the good old-fashioned setup. By the way, guys, excuse me about my nails. As you guys know, we're in quarantine, so I'm gonna have to DIY it pretty soon. But let's go ahead and get started on the first group to see what your natural spiritual gifts and abilities are. So the first thing we have is Authentic Truth, as you guys can see here, which is a beautiful card to me. Immediately when I'm picking up, well, let me go ahead and show you these cards first. So we have Let Go as well, and it's the Sword of Truth. So that's interesting because it kind of goes with the other card. So immediately when I'm seeing group number 1 is your spiritual gift is the gift of discernment, which means I'm willing to bet, specifically because of, you know, the spiritual awakening we're going through currently, because every time there's a huge crisis or every time something major happens, you know, it's never just a downhill. There's always an upswing. It's the ebb and flow of life. And normally when things like this happen in the world, as tragic as it is, there's normally some sort of spiritual download or upgrade that comes with it. And for you, group number one, I'm actually feeling like a lot of the truths about the world are being revealed to you. Maybe in the old world that we were in before this year, before this spiritual evolution, it was considered conspiracy theories. But I actually feel like, group number one, for those of you who picked this, your spiritual gift is discernment. And I'm actually feeling like a lot of the truths of the world have been revealed to you. Truths about your government, truths about the media, truths about how the world really works. And I feel like you've always had that gift of discernment. I feel like a lot of you have been revealed the truth recently. And if not just recently, this is a spiritual gift. So I feel like you've always been into discovering the truth, discovering the root of things, what's really happening, what's the real meaning. Maybe a conspiracy theorist, but I feel like what it is your gift is your mind. You're always asking why. You're always asking how. What's the motive? You think a little deeper than the average person. And because of that, truths have been revealed to you. And I also feel like for a lot of you, one of your gifts is your voice. I feel like a lot of you at some certain point, you're being asked to use your voice to unveil truths to others. And group number one, we start off with a bang with this group. Let me tell you why. So firstly, what I'm seeing is the future. So one thing I'm seeing for you, group number one, is you have the ability, I'm willing to bet, group number one, you were one of those people who felt the coronavirus before it even happened. I'm willing to bet that you are ahead of your time, and because of that, people might call you crazy or doubt you until your predictions come true. I think you have such good discernment and such good clarity of vision in mind that you were actually able to foresee the future and the world events around you. And this, I really feel, group number one, you lived a past life in the future. That's how I truly believe. And I know I told you this pick a card was going to be more woo-woo than the other ones. I warned you guys. But I truly do believe that the previous life you led was in the future. It's kind of like Nikola Tesla. That's the celebrity that popped into my head. He was so ahead of his time, right? That in his time, he was inventing time machines and free energy sources, but his brain was so in the future that in the time, he was considered a crazy old man. But he wasn't that crazy because the government, what did they do? They killed him. They took all of his inventions. So that tells you something. Group number one, I feel like you're on that same soul wave. I do feel like that's why you have the gift of discernment. That's why you're mind is ahead of the future. That's why you're able to predict the future. That is why you think you were able to predict a lot of the world events and know what's really going on in the world. And that's amazing. Now, one funny thing that I saw for you, and this is the part where a lot of you, I don't know if you're ready to be revealed this, but I'm going to reveal it to you. So what I have right here is uncrossing and pentagram. And we also have 8th house references with death and magic, okay? So right away, this is honestly what I'm seeing for your life path and picking up. I'm hearing from spirit, this is what's likely going to happen in your life. I feel like initially you are going to be very drawn to the occult and all 8th house matters. You might have sun in the 8th, you might have moon in the 8th, Mercury in the 8th house. You have some 8th house placements. I'm willing to bet it. Or if not, you have Scorpio placements. I'm willing to bet that at one point in your life, you are going to be into the occult, magic, Ouija boards. This reminds me of the spiritualist movement in the 1800s, the channeling spirits. I feel like initially that's where it's going to start, is Ouija boards, witchcraft, spells, talking to spirits, channeling spirits. But I'm willing to bet with the uncrossing, at some point in your life, you're actually going to release those things and actually become more in alignment with a spiritual nature, spiritual path, not necessarily Christianity, but more of spirituality, that it's not so much relying on tarot cards and Ouija boards and astrology. I actually think you're going to grow out of that, because what I'm seeing, group number one, is you have the gift to tell the future. You have the gift of discernment. You have the gift of foresight. And I feel like right now, a lot of you rely on astrology or tarot cards. I feel like after a while your gift is going to evolve where you are no longer going to have to rely on 8th house matters, and you will just be able to predict and feel the future because of your gift of discernment, intuition, and what I'm specifically hearing is claircognizance. That's how I truly feel, group number 1. And I also feel like too, a lot of you, I have with star ancestor and guardian angel. One thing I'm seeing for you, group number 1, is you're being closely watched right now. I know some of you might be freaked out, but hear me out. I feel like a lot of you are connected to star beings, whether it's, you know, like, okay, so you guys are going to think I'm a nutbag, but you know what? I'm just going to throw it out there. So I do believe there are aliens in this earth. I do believe there are other dimensional beings. I do believe there are existences outside of our human existence. And I'm feeling that a certain species of alien, other dimensional being has their eye on you, or they are closely watching you. For some reason, I think this ties into your natural gift of astrology and using astrology and tarot cards as a crutch, even though eventually I don't think you're going to need it. But for some reason, I feel like you have a rather big mission on this earth. And I do feel like I feel like that's why you're being watched by these higher dimensional beings, because they realize that at some point you are going to be a tool, a very big tool in awakening the world and spilling truths to the world. And I actually feel like they might be whispering in your ear. Sleep paralysis is something that I felt for you. I feel like they make their presence known, but I definitely feel like your guardian angel really isn't an angel per se. I actually feel like it is an alien or someone from the different realms, another existence that's been kept hidden from the humans outside of ourselves. I really feel like you're being closely watched by them. See, I know you guys are going to think I'm totally crazy. And the reason why I feel that too is because we also have the Queen of Saintly Women. Okay, so I do feel like, and the thing about this saint is she was actually favored by Muhammad, or she was favored by God. You know, like the religion is different, but pretty much in her religion, she was favored by God and she was named a saint. I feel like a lot of you in your time, you will be persecuted for your beliefs is another thing I'm seeing, group number 1. With the pentagram and death and magic, I do feel like you're a target for a lot of negative energy people. That's something that I'm sensing for you guys, and I think it comes from a fear, 1, because there's something obviously different about you, but 2, I feel like it comes from a little bit of jealousy and like your authentic truth. And I feel like you're being protected from those energies, definitely, but I do feel a persecution of your beliefs at some point. So that's all I have for you, group number 1. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye. All right, group number 2. For those of you who picked this pile, like right here, let's see what your spiritual gifts and abilities are. We started out with a bang, so let's see what group number 2 is. The first card that we have is Whispers from this light oracle deck, which is so beautiful. So automatically, group number 2, you have the gift of clairaudience. Clairaudience, you've likely heard whispers when you were a child, because when we're children, our abilities are so much stronger. So I'm hearing like you heard your name being whispered a lot from like spirits around you, whether it was angels or just spirits. I'm hearing that you channel messages through music. When you're listening to music and you have like this, your heart feels a certain line in a song, that's because you're channeling wisdom. I'm just hearing you have the gift of clairaudience, or sometimes like when you read tarot or astrology, a thought will just pop in your head about what the answer is. You have psychic hearing. We also have this card right here, which is interesting to me because this indicates to me a twin flame relationship is in your path. Now, I know a lot of you are very bitter about love. The collective is bitter about love, and I understand that, but hear me out before we turn to the bitter side of life. Let me just tell you this beautiful love story, this beautiful energy I see for you. So group number 2, I see with this card, One thing I'm seeing is like two halves that share a heart, that share a soul. Or no, I'm sorry, two wholes that overlap and share a soul and share a heart. I do feel like a twin flame relationship is in the works for you. Now, something that I was really channeling for you is your twin flame, the person out there for you. It doesn't matter if you're, into women, you're a woman into woman, men into men, your other half, whether it's your divine masculine or feminine. What I was getting from these cards is they are going to be someone great. They're going to be a great leader. You're going to be on the side of someone who does great things, and that sounded bad. I don't mean like you're like a side, kind of the energy I was picking up, like the first lady and the president. That's the energy I'm feeling. I'm feeling one of you is going to do very great things, and the reason why I'm feeling this is because of this card right here. So the story behind this goddess is that she actually she ended up falling in love with someone who killed this demon, who would accept sacrifices. I believe he had like the head of an ox and like a demon body, and he demanded sacrifices in order to sustain his wrath of the people. And the person that she ended up falling in love with and marrying and inspiring was the man who slayed that demon and stopped those sacrifices from happening. And it's said that he felt inspired to do so because of the love he had for this goddess. So what I'm really feeling for you, group number 2, is one of you in your twin flame relationship is going to be a great leader, a great spiritual leader, someone who makes a huge difference, and your love or their love is going to inspire this great action. That's how I feel. I almost feel muse energy, group number 2. I feel like you're a muse. You're a quiet inspiration. You're a quiet inspirer. You inspire music. You inspire poetry. You inspire people to create. You inspire people to do. And I even hear you inspire with your whispers of wisdom. So you might also be someone who helps people with their life path, or finding their life path, or finding their destiny. But you help people find their destiny. You help people find their path, whether it's through counseling or just by love and support. And I'm also hearing as well, like I said, that you are going to inspire somebody great one day. So a lot of the times when we think of our life, we think, what great thing am I going to do, right? Like, what's my legacy? But people don't realize that those greats, those people who are inspiring, they were once inspired by someone before themselves. And I feel, group number 2, and I'm getting the spiritual tingles, you are going to inspire someone to do great things. It could be like a word of counsel that you say that helps them realize their path or their truth. And the whole reason they started this great path and became a great man or woman is because you lit the flame, you lit the spark with your inspiring words, or with what it is that, sorry guys, I'm doing this with my window open so I can channel energy, and it's like my neighbors are probably walking by thinking I'm a nutbag. But back to the message, you are going to inspire someone great one day. Someone's going to read your book. Someone's going to listen to your pick a card. Your sister, your brother, your friend. There's something that you're going to inspire within someone. Someone's going to write a love song about you because you broke their heart, or they were mesmerized by you, and it ends up being that it turns them into the #1 band. You see, you're a great muse, essentially, and that is your spiritual gift. And some of you might be disappointed by that, but don't be, because those great people would not be great without their muses. It's almost like you're a muse, and I feel like your twin flame, whoever this person may be, is going to be someone great, someone who does great things, and you are going to be the voice whispering in their ear. Because you know what they always say, behind every great man is a great woman whispering in their ear. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and there's a power behind that, not needing to overshadow or dominate, just knowing your power in silence, silent power. There's like something very great about that, and I want you to know that. Because we also have Heart Guardian. Look at that. You inspire love. You inspire passion in great, talented people, the great muses. I'm hearing the 3 muses. I feel like you had this just popped into my head. I feel like you had a past life in Roman times. That's like as a muse or a Vesta virgin. If you guys don't know what a Vesta virgin is, I really recommend checking that out. You are a great muse. Your beauty inspires. So for some of you, this is a general reading, but one of your spiritual gifts is beauty, like physical outward beauty. And I'm seeing this just like from the women that are popping out. There's something striking and inspiring about your beauty, like a true muse. But it's not even just that for some of you, because it's not all shallow. There's something about your energy that's powerful. If we look at these cards, her aura has lightning bolts in 3 of the cards. Lightning, lightning, lightning. There's something that's hard to miss about you, just like a great muse. One thing I'm also hearing too is I do sense for some of you another past life that I'm picking up on. Some of you might be very connected to Vikings. I do sense, okay, so these are the past lives I'm picking up. The Vesta virgins, the Roman muses. I'm also picking up Vikings. I feel like back in Viking days, you were a Viking or someone who lived in the Nordic, or maybe that's your heritage. But I'm also sensing with this white witch and the heart guardian, for some of you, because it could be one or all 3, listen to what resonates. I feel like a lot of you could have been persecuted for your beliefs, such as the witch in Salem times. And you know, a lot of those girls weren't even witches. They were just burned. You know why they were burned in Salem? Because men were threatened by the woman's natural power of influence with her sexuality and beauty. And that made men think it was satanic, because a woman's power is so powerful and influential that men were threatened by it. And I feel like you have this, okay, you know what just popped in my head? Anne Boleyn. Anne Boleyn, she was beheaded. She had too much influence over the king. She was, you know, considered, you know, no one liked her because people were jealous of her influence. There's something about being persecuted for your power, your natural power, your beauty, being persecuted for your beauty out of jealousy, or the fact that weak men can be intimidated by how much power. You need a strong partner, because the power you possess, a weak person would run away in fear over your power. And this is why I also feel like too, a lot of you might be like, burn the witch, burn at the stake. A lot of it comes from jealousy is how I'm feeling. I'm also feeling for some of you, you also could have had in a past life in Egyptian times. I'm sensing someone who's had many lifetimes of being persecuted for their sexual power, the power to influence. And we also have over the moon, love and attraction spell. Just like I was saying, it all comes together. So group number 2, those are your spiritual gifts, okay? I hope you liked this pick a card. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you later. Bye. All right, group number 3, the middle pile. Let's see what your spiritual gifts and abilities are. Let's see, we started off really strong with the first 2. Let's see if this keeps up. Definitely. Group number 3. Oh, I might just shout it into the mic. I'm so sorry, guys. I get excited and my voice control just goes out the window. But the first thing that we have is divine animals, group number 3. So right away, I'm getting life path 9 vibes. You have to be a life path, soul urge, something 9. I'm seeing you have a strong connection with animals, and not just the average connection, group number 3. When I see divine animals as a spiritual gift, this is talking about an ability to connect with animals in a way that most people cannot. A lot of you likely have pets or are vegetarian, or animals, stray animals come to you, or like, you know, if you're in a house full of roommates, the animals pick you as their favorite over anyone else. There's something about you. You could be a veterinarian or just have a lot of animals, animal rights, animal causes. This is something that's your sole purpose in life, is the ability to connect with animals in such a powerful way. And you know, it's funny because a lot of people don't even see animals, unfortunately, as you know, as beings that are as coherent as humans, but they are. And you see that when you look into an animal's eyes, you don't just see an animal, you see a human. You see another being, just in a different form. And that's what's beautiful about you, your empathy and the ability to realize that animals are not just things that, you know, we can abuse and torture. Like, you have this connection, and you're like the animal whisperer, like Dr. Dolittle is kind of what I'm seeing. We also have soul writing right here. Let's see what else that we have. We have Earth. We also have the goddess of compassion. We have humor, and we have ancestors and hearth blessings. So group number 3, immediately what I'm seeing from this is you, okay, let me start off with this. First of all, what I'm seeing with the stargazer is I definitely feel you are a starseed, 100%. You are from, you know, a different dimension. So I hate sounding woo-woo in these because I try to keep it as grounded as possible. But essentially what a starseed is someone, so obviously there are beings outside of human beings existing in this universe. It's been covered up by the government. It's been covered up on the media, but there are. And I do feel like you've led a past life. Your soul has led a past life up in the stars. But you know what I was honestly hearing when I was looking at this is a lot of you might feel drawn to the stars. You might feel called to the stars, group number 3. And I feel like some of you too have the natural gift of astrology, and that's because where you are from, astrology was a known science up in the stars. You might always be looking up at the sky, be drawn to a certain constellation, really into astrology, really into what's going on in the cosmos, and that's because you're connected to it. But I specifically heard, group number 3, your existence in this point in your life is not to care so much about what's going on in the stars. I'm hearing that your soul chose to incarnate, especially when I see these earthy red colors, earth blessings, ancestors. It's very grounded and rooted. And I also see this with the bee right here, the bee. This tells me you chose to incarnate on this earth to experience the pleasure of earth and living a human existence. And a lot of you might be like, what are you talking about? Being a human sucks. I hate being here. I want to go back home to the stars. And that is where group number 3, the irony lies. Because before you got amnesia and you came down to this earth existence, you actually saw how beautiful it was on earth. You saw, you know, the ability to taste things, you saw the joys of the 3D. You saw, wow, I want to be able to experience an orgasm. I want to be able to eat something so good I'm jumping. I want to be able to feel what it feels like to be cold and hot. Because where you are from as a star being, you didn't live on the 3D plane. You don't have those sensations. It's light. It's just psychic connection. That's why you're so psychically connected. That's why you're so interested in the stars and the cosmos fascinate you. But I'm hearing that it's time for you to focus on grounded matters. I'm willing to bet you have a north node in the 6th house or the 10th house or like 2nd house. You're meant to experience the earthly pleasure of working on the 3D plane and being on this 3D plane. You came here, as I see with the humor card, to experience it, to laugh, to have joy. And for those of you who are not having joy in this life, I really hope this message reminds you, like in your soul, when you listen to this, I hope you remember before you incarnated, you were so excited that you had the ability and the chance to be on this 3D plane. I feel like a lot of you, it's hard for you to get grounded. I do see that because it's something you're not used to. You're used to, in your light being days, being able to think of something and having it manifest right in front of you. Or you're so used to not having to talk, just like telepathically communicate through emotions without language. So now in this life, you're like, why is everything so hard? I feel like I moved so slow. I'm so tired. Talking is hard. Moving is hard. Working is hard. Everything's so hard because you're on the 3D plane. But there's so much joy to it. And I feel like if you're not laughing, if you're not having fun and enjoying it, then you are missing this. And when you go on from this life, you're going to be like, damn it, that amnesia. Why was I so stuck in this human? Because you know what else is new to you, group number 3? It's the human feeling of fear, of anxiety. You weren't prepared for that. But I feel like that's why it's so important, especially for you to laugh. You're very connected with the land too, with ancestors and hearth blessing. Oh my gosh, group number 3. First of all, I'm sensing a grandmother spirit or a great-grandmother spirit. She likely lived in these times. I'm sensing this is kind of, what she looked like. But if not, you know, if you're from a different culture, it's just sort of like these times. I'm sensing early 1900s, 1920s, 1910, 1920, 1930. Maybe they lived in the country. But I'm sensing that a great-grandmother or grandmother spirit is heavily watching over you, and you're very connected to your ancestral bloodline, as I get with ancestors and hearth blessings. I'm sensing that for some of you, you go to your ancestor's grave and pray, or if not, you should, because that brings you blessings. So if you were very close to an ancestor, grandparent, go to their grave, offer them flowers, offer them an offering, pray to them. They're one of your spirit guides and they want to help assist you. You're very connected to them in many ways. I feel like crying for a lot of you. I really do feel like it's a grandparent and they want to tell you they love you very much. And wow, I just got a lot of channel. Sorry guys. Anyway, I'm back to the pick a card. It's an intense day, guys. It's an intense awakening we're going through. Like, what I want to tell you guys is it's scary right now, but one thing that I'm feeling for us collectively is we are increasing all of our psychic empathetic abilities. So we're becoming more like all of those beings, like the Galactic Confederation. We're becoming less human, and we're becoming more like the light, more like the other beings in this universe. So what I can say is enjoy your earthly incarnation. And I'm also seeing that one of your destinies, I really do feel like a lot of you are going to make money through land. You're very connected to land. I feel like something that would help your energy and help with the anxiety is definitely learning feng shui, sage your house. It's very important for you to have a house and land. I feel like if you're living in an apartment, one day you're going to buy a house and it's going to be a beautiful house in the country. And I feel like you're going to grow your own food, or it's going to be your dream house because you're very connected to land. And I see the connection to the stars, I do, but right now you're meant to master the 3D. You've already mastered the stars. You've already mastered the higher dimensions. Master land. Grow your food, walk around barefoot, feel that electromagnetic field hit your feet. You're very connected to land and the outdoors and nature. And oh my gosh, I also heard, guys, you know these things, okay, so these are essential oils that I make with, and they're to heal, they're for specific purposes. Like this one has lavender, clear quartz, and some other essential oils mixed in coconut oil that actually increases your psychic ability. I use this one for confidence and also to feel awake for chronic fatigue. This is a certain ingredient. These are natural remedies and healing things that I use. I feel like a lot of you, one thing, and I'm going to put these here so you can look at them. If you want to learn how to make them, I have a video on it. It's called How to Use Essential Oils in an Ethically Questionable Way to Manifest What You Desire. You guys are very connected to land, plants, plant medicine. Some of you guys, you know what I'm talking about. But plant medicine, salt baths, natural remedies to cleanse your energy. I feel like a lot of you are going to start getting into that with this energetic upgrade we're getting into. I feel like a lot of you are very connected to crystals, healing crystals. And I'm the most grounded person in the world. I know it's weird because I'm a witch, astrologer, but I need facts, proof. I don't believe in all this woo-woo BS. Like, trust me, but I'm telling you, like with this new spiritual awakening, I gave it a shot using crystals, essential oils, dried flowers. These things work, and I feel like you have that natural gift to be a plant medicine, herbs, using St. John's wort to heal depression. These Nostradamus wrote about this, that great prophet. I feel like you have that ancient knowledge in you because a lot of the pharmaceutical industry is BS, okay? It's designed to keep you sick. It's designed to suppress symptoms because they want to make money. That's the whole pharmaceutical industry, is making money, keeping you sick, dealing with symptoms, so you keep buying. It has nothing to do with health. It's the corruption of the world, and that's why we're in this great awakening. We're going to see that go away, and we're going to see true healing come to light. And I feel like one of your gifts during this great awakening is healing with natural things. You know, healing arthritis with salt baths. you know, healing things with natural emotional issues with natural herbs and plants, you're going to feel called. And crystals, those are all your abilities. You've been given power over the earth and land and plants, and that is how you're going to heal. And I find when you're get older, this is something you're going to really notice if you're young, and it doesn't seem like it now, but you do have those abilities. And I really just want to stress the message that you are meant to be prosperous in this life. I see that for you, but you're meant to work hard, and not hard as in like it sucks, it's miserable. You're meant to have fun, but you're meant to enjoy work. That's what I'm seeing, is you are going to work not because you want money, but because you're meant to enjoy work in the 3D plane, and because of that you are going to be prosperous. But the thing is finding that joy. That's going to be a huge thing for you. And I just went on a huge tangent. I hoped you liked that. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. Bye. All right, my friends who picked group number 4, let's see what your spiritual gifts are, what your spiritual mission is. So we have Inward Revolution, this beautiful card right here, guys. Look at that. These cards are just freaking beautiful. They're light cards that just show the energy of light. So we have Inward Revolution. Let's see what else we have. We have the Awakening. So group number 4, I feel like for those of you who picked group number 4, you are going through a massive spiritual awakening right now. Things are starting to come to light for you that before were hidden. I feel like you, more than anyone else, group number 4, are really being made aware of your spiritual gifts. And I feel like this is just really started to happen now, or you're going to see the full extent of your spiritual gifts coming up in the next few months. Because like I was saying in the other groups, we are on the precipice of this huge spiritual awakening. Every time there is chaos happening on earth, every time, you know, things like this happen, the positive side is because we're receiving spiritual downloads. It's never all negative, guys. That's what I want to tell you. It's a cycle. We're at a low dip. Like, things couldn't get any worse because they're about to get better. And around these times, this is when we go through massive spiritual downloads and awakenings. And I feel like you especially are really noticing the full extent of your spiritual gifts, or your spiritual gifts are going to be revealed to you very soon. But let's go ahead and see what this is. So we have Assurance. So one thing I'm specifically seeing for you guys is you definitely had a past life in Egypt. Egyptian times, and also I'm feeling medieval times as well, so you might be very drawn to those two time periods. But I'm specifically seeing you've had many past lives of being someone who's very spiritual, so you have natural spiritual and ancient wisdom in you. I feel like you guys are pro manifestors as well. Now, why is that? Why is it that you are why is it that you have the gift of manifestation? Some people are born with a heightened gift of manifestation in this life because they are meant to realize that their inner world creates their outer reality, and that's their whole lesson in life. And group number 4, you more than anyone should be using the law of attraction. You more than anyone have the gift of manifestation and manifesting what you desire, because your lesson in this life is realizing that your inner world is going to be a reflection of your material reality. So you have the gift of manifesting on this physical plane whatever you so desire. Now that sounds very easy, right? Just, oh, I want something, so I'm going to manifest it and that's it. But the challenge with this, because our life, the point of existence is to learn lessons. And I feel like your lesson, group number 4, is to remove blockages that keep you from manifesting your desired reality. And a lot of them I feel like is emotional, is inward, is beliefs you have about yourself, beliefs you have about the world. A lot of you, your challenge is to overcome a lot of mental blockages and belief issues that you have that are keeping you from manifesting your desired reality. And I feel, group number 4, a lot of you are starting now with this downtime in quarantine. You're having the time to really self-reflect. And I feel like you guys are doing that. And that's a part of your spiritual evolution, where you're starting to realize, wait, I have some toxic behaviors. I have some behaviors I don't really like. Because this rat race that we're in, this is one beauty of the quarantine, and it is obviously awful, everyone who's gotten sick, but just hear me out. If you're blessed enough to be healthy during this time, this quarantine is beautiful, because in the system that we're currently in, it's a rat race. We're kept so busy. We're kept as debt slaves. We got to pay off our school loans. We got to pay off our mortgages. We're pretty much slaves, because we're always paying off debt, trying to keep up with the price of living, with wages that are nowhere near the price of living. So we're constantly in a cycle of debt and just trying to survive, that we're so focused on the physical, we do not have time to even consider the spiritual. And that's how the powers that be, and I know you guys are going to think I'm woo-woo, but I told you this is going to be a spiritual pick a card, because we're going through major downloads. That's how the powers that be really keep us from realizing our power as co-creators and divine creators on earth. It's really a system made to control and keep us unaware of our own power. And I feel like group number 4, this quarantine has given you time to really inwardly go inside and do the spiritual work that you need to in order to manifest heaven on earth. And I feel like a lot of you are starting to realize toxic behaviors or unhealthy patterns, and you're making the conscious effort to fix them. And because of that, you're removing a lot of blocks and old belief systems that have kept you from manifesting what you deserve. Ask and you shall receive. That is the big message I have for you, group number 4. What really called out to me is this Esther card. Okay, and I love Queen Esther. It's my favorite story in the Bible. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian or not. They contain great spiritual lessons, and that's something I think in this new world we're going to come to see, is religion and spirituality isn't about hating each other for each other's beliefs or prejudice. It's about embracing other people's spiritual beliefs and seeing the wisdom in them without any prejudice or bias. Just, listening to other people's beliefs and having an open mind, because there's wisdom in every sort of spiritual teaching. With Queen Esther, this really reminds me of this woman. She was such a strong woman in the Bible. She married a great king, and please, it's been a while since I've been to Sunday school, but I remember this story. She married a great king who I believe wanted to kill her people, which I believe were the chosen people, God's chosen people. And he didn't know that Esther was a part of these chosen people. He just married her because she was beautiful, and God told her mission was to make the king save her people and to stop executing her people, even though he hated her people, which I believe were the Jews. And then Esther came up to the king, and she was so scared. She was shaking in her boots. She knew that she would be executed if she revealed that she was a Jew. But she, with God's bravery, went up to the king and begged him to have mercy on her people, because she was a Jew. And because of his great love for her, and because of her great beauty, compassion, kindness, and honesty, not just her physical beauty, but her inward beauty and sincerity, he had mercy on her. He did not execute her like the harsh king he was. A harsh man softened his heart for her because she asked. And in turn, she saved her people, and that was her mission. And I feel like group number 4, that story is very congruent with you. Ask and you shall receive. So I feel like a lot of you might have Jupiter in the 8th house, because one of your spiritual gifts is you can make the hardest of hearts soften with your sincerity, with your love, and that is your spiritual gift, is the gift of being able to receive. And this might not seem like a great gift, because first of all, let me explain why I say this. I have Saturn in my 8th house, which means it's very hard for me to ask and receive. Handouts are hard. Loans are hard. If I want a sugar daddy, forget it. Saturn in the 8th does that. And that's putting a block on my receptive energy and my asking energy. Group number 4, you have the opposite. Or maybe you do have Saturn in your 8th, but later on with Saturn, things get better with age and time. I feel like at your highest self, at your highest point of being, you will be able to ask the universe in the hardest of hearts, the hardest of people, for something that you sincerely want, and you will receive it. Because I also have the cup and the bee, which is telling me milk and honey. That's what popped into my head. Group 4, you are meant to live a very comfortable life. I actually feel, group number 4, another thing that popped in is I really feel like in the past life you were some sort of royalty, a part of a royal family. Could have been Egyptian, medieval times, but I really do sense that with all this crown imagery. And I feel like group number 4, one thing about you is in this life, I do feel like you're meant to receive milk and honey, the gifts of the world. People are meant to shower you in gifts, ask and you shall receive. But I feel like group number 4, your lesson in life is learning that your outward reality is a reflection of your inward mental state. So you are meant to receive milk and honey in this life. You're meant to be royalty in this life. But the thing is, you will not manifest that until you do inward work on yourself. And that's why your mental health, more than any other group, is so important, because your mental state will become an outward representation of your reality. So your mission, group number 4, is to get a hold of your mental health and your mindset. And if you can do that, you will manifest milk and honey on this earth. That's how I feel for you. That's all I have for you, group number 4. I hope you have a great, fantastic day. Love you, and I'll see you later. Bye. All right, group number 5. Let's see what your spiritual gifts and abilities are. Okay, we have let your light shine. Guys, you are a light worker, 110%. You guys are a light worker. Earth angel is what popped into my head. Beautiful soul. We also have soul tree. So another thing I'm seeing about you, group number 5, is you actually incarnated with a group of souls at the same time. Your soul family, your soul group has incarnated with the same mission during these times. And like I was telling the other groups, we're at a time when we're going through a great spiritual awakening. We're at the precipice of the age of Aquarius, of great enlightenment. And during these times, these troubling times, this is the time when the universe, our vibration enlightens. We become higher forms of ourselves. Why do you think, like in a generational line, the newest generation is always a little more enlightened than the last? Because we're constantly going through a soul evolution, group number 5, and your soul came with a group. And remember, guys, I said I was going to get super spiritual and woo-woo, so if you're not into it, just wait for the next one. But like I said, I feel like we're ready, because I just felt this surge of enlightenment that came the last few days with this corona epidemic. It feels so good, and I want you to feel this good energy coming in through my window. This is the energy of enlightenment, and I want you to know, group number 5, you came with a group of other soul beings with the same mission, who were incarnated at the same time as you, from the same stream of consciousness, from the same, and I feel like all of you are earth angels, light workers, meant to usher in this new age. So group number 5, what I see for you is in your life you will run into a lot of soulmates, friendship wise and also romantic, and that is because these soulmates that you run into, and you'll recognize them because you'll have a familiarity, the same mission, the same soul. It feels like these friends, these people that you collaborate with, these people that you run into, these people you have twin flame relationships with that you feel so strongly about. The reason why is because you all came from the same stream of consciousness, this same group of light beings that came down during this time of enlightenment. And I'm willing to bet you will run into your soul family during this time. We're going to get more information on this. So you do have a pink aura. This is what I'm saying, guys, very heart chakra oriented. You're very empathetic. A lot of people say they're empathetic in the spiritual community. And you know, what I mean by empathetic is a lot of you, I'm sensing a lot of you as light beings, you get energetically drained a lot. And I feel like that's one of your lessons in life, is learning to put up those barriers. You might be someone who gets tired easily. You might be someone whose energy is not consistent. I'm sensing a hard time focusing. Maybe you feel drained easily. It's hard for you to keep a regular job. It's hard for you to be out in public. You get drained easily because you're a being of light. And as a being of light, you are constantly pouring out light, healing energy, and all of these broken souls come to you like mosquitoes to a flame, wanting to feel your warmth and healing energy, and unknowingly energetically vampirize on you, even if they don't mean to. It's normally not from ill intent. It's just because you let out such divine light as a light worker and as an empath, and you take on the energy of people around you. You could be fine and then hang around some people and unknowingly, cyclically, empathetically pick up their energy and feel drained and tired tired and lethargic and unhappy and depressed, that's because you're putting on the weight of the world on your shoulders with your natural empathic abilities. So another thing about empaths, and this is something that I see for you, and as light workers, you are extreme empaths. A lot of what you're feeling might not be your own emotion. Look at the people around you. Look at the people that you're surrounding yourself with. A lot of your negative emotions, a lot of your energy drain, I'm willing to bet it's because you're so empathetic that you feel emotions and physical sensations on your body like they are your own. And that's why I see a very, look, y'all, okay, we have mugwort, and this is for used for spells of divination, magic, and protection. You guys need some black obsidian to protect your energy. Take a bath with clear quartz inside the bath and the salt bath. You guys really need to clear your energy field. You are literally, your energy is like this picture where it's just pouring out light and healing. Your energy doesn't have a filter, it's just pouring out, and people are attracted. They feed off this because it feels good. Your nourishment for the soul. So that's why you're constantly feeling drained. And once again, a lot of your emotions are not your own. You also have a sixth sense about people, as I see with the wolf and the stag, and a lot of you need to start trusting that intuition. You're one of those people, group number 5, where you have a bad feeling about someone and 9 times out of 10 it is correct. A lot of you have the ability, I heard the message, penetrating eyes. You have eyes that penetrate the soul, and you're able to see past the mask of people. You're able to see people's soul. You're like, a lot of people, for instance, might call someone bad, but you're able to see like, oh, the past scarring. And that's what we have with the past, guys, okay? You're able to see what is past scarring. You're able to see people for who they really are at a soul level, like what is just hurt from their past, what's baggage, and who they really are. So the worst of people, you're able to see, no, they're only that bad because I see what they've been through. I see where the flaws in their personality come from. You're able to see it. And you're able to penetrate right to the soul and see, I know they're a good person, they're a good soul, they've just been through a lot. I mean, you're able to see and feel and empathize why their soul has warped into someone who others perceive as bad, and you're able to see the truth about people. And same thing with good people. You're able to see, no, they're not really a good person. I see why they're doing it. You have the gift of discernment when it comes to people's souls, and you can see the truth of other souls. And I truly feel that for you guys. Wow. And that's intense. And another thing I see for you as well, group number 5, with the year, the wheel of the year, I see a lot of you get really bad seasonal depression. And I see that what's really important for you, I heard the message of vitamin D. Take your vitamin D. You guys need a lot of sunlight in order to feel good. Now, some of you I'm hearing get sick in the sunlight, or you have a hard time breathing in the sunlight. That's because you're vitamin D deficient. You need a lot of sunlight. Start taking your vitamin D supplements. Start going out in the sun more. I guarantee you're going to notice an improvement in your mood, but I specifically heard vitamin D deficient. And I'm also hearing as well, okay, so one thing that I hear for you guys is you have led many past lives. I think that one of you, your past life is actually one of a nun or someone who is very spiritual, or a priest or something like that. You might feel connected to that. And I also see with the wheel of the year and divination, a lot of you have a natural gift of astrology. And this is very typical with people with light beings. I had it in another group. You guys have the gift of being able to understand astrological transits and what they mean. You might feel called to astrology, but that's something that you definitely have. And I'm also hearing tea relieving, palmistry. That's something you have a natural gift for. And I'm also hearing you're very connected to nature and earth and plants. And I feel like living in nature is something that's very important to you, because as an empath, living in a city is not going to fly. You have way too many energies piled up in your energy field, and you have a hard time blocking that out, okay, group number 5? So I'm really hearing a lot of you need to live in a cottage in the woods, growing your own food. I'm also hearing plant medicine is something you're a natural at, making all natural soaps, essential oils. These are all things that are very common for light beings. So that's all I have for you, group number 5. I really hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you later. Bye.